So I had prepared a really good story, but there's a lot of my team over here, a lot of people who know me, so I can't bullshit my way through this tonight. So you're gonna have to, get stuck with the actual truth. So the whole concept is that when starting up a business, it's, everyone says like, yeah, good luck and good this, and fuck the luck, okay? It's just a lot of hard work, but you've got to really dream big. And along my journey, I had a lot of big dreams, a lot of stuff I really wanted to do. Some of them happened, and when they did happen, it was like, all right, now we're here, now what? So it's just creating that bigger dream every single time, just building another bigger dream than just going to get it. And obviously having the right people with you is obviously what makes the journey even more exciting. So today I'm just going to share a bit of my story and talk about a couple of seconds about me and what makes me who I am, and the brilliant team that I've got with me, and then a couple of just pointers of what I believe in and what I think have helped me get to where we are today. So these are the guys that keep me sane, okay? These are my family. The first one on my right is Jamie. He walks around like he owns the place. He absolutely has no fear, and that's great to have somebody like that in your life. There's nothing like a sanity check in a real life, like wake-up call, then changing his shit at 6 in the morning, gone a nappy. So that's fine. That keeps me sane. The other guy is the most sensitive ninja I've ever met in my life. Don't be fooled by Lily. She's pretending to be doing yoga. And the one on the right-hand side is our first angel investor. So she put out 1,000-something euros to buy my first MacBook Pro. Thank God for that. These are my other family. So these are my two other partners. There's Chris Knight and Chris Villapetroni, who obviously heard the story before, so didn't bother making it tonight. Thanks, guys. And these are the guys I would really, give up everything for. So this is the rest of my team. So amazing people over here. Some of them are not here anymore. Some of them are in the UK, some of them are doing some other crazy stuff. They've been replaced by others, but it's a really good, fun team, and it's a great story. So my Red Dragon story, and I'll talk about Red Dragon. So from a branding consultancy company, calling our company Brandwagon and removing all the vowels was probably the shittiest idea we ever had. Okay, so it's a really bad idea. It sounds good on paper, but when you're trying to speak to someone and give them your email address whilst they're driving, and you're trying to explain it's BRND, DN, is it M or D or B or forget it, all right? So we had to get over all that. And we've called places and say, Red Dragon, yeah, we've heard about you. Who? So that's where the Red Dragon story came about from. This is where it all started. So in 2006, I was working for a wine company. Fantastic. I was a marketing manager there. Amazing hangovers. But I really missed the creative side, so I wanted to go off on my own and do something a bit different. I had worked in an agency before. I had worked at JP Advertising. Really cool guys. Fantastic story over there as well. Learned a lot. But I wanted to do something which is a little bit different. I didn't find the company I could or wanted to work for, so I said, screw that, I'll do it myself. So I set up this little desk in a place in Baharicha. Mike, 50% of Sabato here, was actually one of my first, freelance guys. He was introduced to me by Fabio Zamit, who's also somewhere around. He introduced him as like this guy who could, he can design a bit, just meet him and we'll see what we can do. He can design a lot. It was great. This office, we had our neighbors was actually raising chickens next door, and that's why that fan is there. So just in case the wind was blowing in, we wouldn't smell it. We then moved to an office in San Juan. The team grew a little bit bigger, and it was great fun. And now this is what, yesterday looked like, in fact. So that's the studio, what the studio looks like today. And it's a real fun journey. I'm just going to show you, I promise this is not going to be a sales talk, okay? So this is the only piece of work I'm going to show of Brandwagon. I've done my best to use the most, simple fonts. I have just put in one logo in there. This is not a sales pitch. But this video, for me, is really, really important. And I'm just going to keep on talking till the mic changes the sound settings here. So the reason why this video is really important to me, it was one of the most exciting projects we worked on. And it was an exciting project because it was grabbing all the team together of the time, coming up with a simple concept, just having fun, and it was really cool. So I just want to share this with you, and then I'll tell you how the story came about. All right, so that was a job that we had done for Air Malta. It was fun and it means a lot to me because we were all standing on a beach. We had all our friends there, a bunch of the office. The music was by one of our guys, or his band at least. And, we all came together to do this like really exciting job, and it actually did really well online as well. Today, so this is the only logo, okay? So this is what we call our purpose, and our purpose is to do great creative work with passionate and honest team of people, and that's, the guys who are Brandwagon, who are ready to challenge the way things have always been done for brands who believe in and brand owners that appreciate it for the love of brands. So the fun thing over here was that, deciding what you want to do and deciding why you want to do it is much more important than just doing it. And getting on with it, is so important as long as you have a good purpose to do it. So this is just a bit of a timeline of what got me here, and I'll explain what the scream is in the middle. Okay, so 2006 I started up, fun and games, there's a lot of tightrope walking, good fun, you're not sure you're going to make it, you get your first employee, you wonder how the hell you're going to pay his wage, you keep working hard, bring in some more people, it's more fun, your first Christmas staff party is amazing, you all know the 4 of you guys, it's cool. We moved on, in 2011, we decided, you know what, we're going to go global. That's it. We're going to go to London. So Mike was actually studying in London, and we decided, yeah, why not? We'll open an office in London, for sure. So we opened an office in Phipp Street in Shoreditch, which was probably the most expensive marketing stunt we ever decided to do. And it was expensive because it cost us about 30,000 euros. I went to the office once. We probably got 0 clients, but everybody in Malta said, you have an office in London. You must be good. So from there, we actually started getting more work. Mike did his own thing, and thank God he did, because, there's a huge, really cool agency out there called Sabato. And we kept on. But that was our first, stunt at trying to make it big globally. We actually realized that if we want to do some work out of this country, we had to do, much, much better, harder stuff and really go for it. But the good thing was that because people thought we were good, because we had an office in London, we actually landed our first big client. So we landed our first big client, Air Malta, in about 2013, and that changed everything. Because typically our clients used to spend just under like maybe 50K before, and all of a sudden we had this huge, multinational, airline of the Maltese Islands that we had to represent, and we went out there employing everybody we could and seeing how the hell we were going to do it. The biggest panic was that by having such a big client, we really depended on these guys. So the minute we got these big guys, we said like, shit, if these guys leave, now we're really screwed. So from then on, we went out on a journey to sort of really make this a much better place to work, a much sort of more organized place, and dealing with that. I remember it was like probably the best, scariest day of my life when we were on that client. It was like, okay, shit, now what are we going to do? So we somehow managed to get on with it, and our work, paid off. And we landed this deal with a company called Volume in the UK. It's a digital B2B agency, really cool clients. They work for Google, they work for Oracle, good fun stuff, and it was really cool working with them. And in 2015, all of a sudden I started to panic. So I probably went into what I'd call my early midlife crisis, because all of a sudden I had a team of 28 people just in front of me, all looking at me like, all right, Pete, cool, what's next? And the culture of being the small boutique agency, because originally I wanted to be a maximum number of 6 people, and I really screwed up over there. So having 28 people looking at me and saying, all right, Pete, what's next? I was like, shit, what is next? I never expected to get to this stage, and even now that we got to this stage, it's fun and it's really easy. But unless you develop and you build a bigger dream and you don't know where, you set something out there that you really want to go and get, all of a sudden you're like, all right, doing what now? So I decided to swim between Corsica and Sardinia, which is like 15 kilometers of madness. And it was fun, but I realized that unless I, developed a bigger dream and, I decided to do something which is much more important, stand out, much more, we weren't going to go anywhere. So that is when we took our decision and said, all right, guys, we're going to do this and let's go and get some really good clients. And we did, and now it's, it's been real fun. So today I'm here at Heyday Disco, and the big plan is, working on the 2020 dream, which is using Malta as a good hub for, other great creatives and, contacting and getting people in touch with them, with the crazy Maltese that we are, and doing some really good stuff out there. So what I realized for sure was that what got me there is not going to take me to the next step. And that is like a really big realization. Thinking that the same skills that that you got through when it was just managing 4 people, trying, to see how the hell you were going to make wages at the end of the month, and seeing if you could actually, pay rent and get away with not, buying Adobe licenses and all this shit. We've all been there, we've all been there. That's changed. Now the whole logistics are completely different. So I've just got a couple of tips here, which I just want to go through, and then we're going to go to a more exciting presentation from Hotcha. So these are the things that I sort of, keep close to my heart, and sometimes obviously veer off when somebody's out there to kick my ass and remind me what it's all about. But for me, it's, be the best at what you do. Whatever you're going to do, just do it right. There's always somebody out there who's got a bigger budget. There's always somebody out there who knows more people than you. But unless you do the best of what you can do, it's just not going to be meaningful. Don't take anything for granted. When, one of my first teammates left or said, I'm going to go back to UK and study. It's like, what? That's it? 25% of my company is just going to go and leave me. But you know what? Nothing is fatal, and you just move on. And the client that you had yesterday is maybe will not be your best client tomorrow. And so what? Just don't take anything for granted and just move on for the future. Be passionate. If there's anything that drives your team, it's showing that you're actually passionate about what you're doing. People don't follow, the bullshit that you say in a meeting. That's fine. People will like it. They might clap a bit. But the truth is, true passion, you can sense it. You can actually smell it. Be honest. Along the way, I had to face a number of people for, the good stuff, the exciting stuff, but sometimes dealing with the hard stuff, telling a client that, what, I don't think this is going to work. Telling, one of your staff members who look at you as the guy who's paying their wages and giving them a job and saying, what, we're going to have to fix this. But being really honest with everyone is the most important thing. It's the only way you're going to sleep at night. Build a good team and take care of it. I think I have an amazing team, and I walk into the office every day and say, shit, man, these guys are really cool. What the hell are they doing here? But, you really have to take care of the people that you work with because they are everything. I mean, our main thing is our people. Those are the guys coming up with the ideas. They're the guys, you're working with every single day of your life, and you've got to take care of them. Work hard. Again, somebody can have a bigger budget, better equipment, more Adobe licenses. You've got to really work hard. You really got to prove your worth because treat your market like people. I think this is really important. We're all, gone out on a wing and came up with some really cool, creative idea, which we thought made a lot of sense. But unless you sort of test market it with sometimes some of the simplest people, sometimes it's just not going to fly. So I use my wife. I use our cleaner at the office. I ask her, what do you think about this concept? And she looks at me like, huh? What? Exactly. So unless you can treat your market like your people, unless you can, really speak to them, it's just not going to work. Dream big and fail fast. I had a number of failures along the way, but as long as, you get rid of them and swing them under the carpet and move on, I mean, that's what's really going to sort of cultivate a bit of spine in there. And as I said, before, unless the dream is really big, you're just not going to aim for the stars. Don't waste. I remember when I had started Brandwagon, I was so broke. I had 400 euros in my bank account, and I had to pay so much more before the end of the month. So, I used to get letters, remember those things came in envelopes. If they had the extra paper clips, I'd steal them, I'd take them, I'd put them on the side. If there's anything, if there was an extra chair I could keep, whatever, don't waste. You only have one reputation, and a lot of people will do everything they can to ruin it for you. So unless you can really stand by what you do and really work hard to keep your reputation there, it's going to be tough work. Never stop learning, obviously. That's why we're here now. We're here to learn what David's doing. Burn your ego. So at different times through my life, I've always, I've woken up sometimes and say, fuck, man, I'm the CEO of Brandwagon. Shut up, Pete. Honestly. Egos in this business is just literally where creativity, where good business sense goes to die. And unless you can say, screw your ego and just get on with it and just be a real human being, it's just not going to happen. Nothing is fatal. Mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up now and again. Your client is not going to pay you. You're going to miss that deadline. You're going to really screw up in that pitch presentation. Im Maltese, hello. What you going to do about it? Just get on with it. Nobody died. And it's fine. You're going to wake up the next day and you're going to learn from it. And I think the most important one is have fun. For me, the last 9 years have just been an amazing journey. I still feel like we're a startup company sometimes, and that's what really makes it, worthwhile. And I'm still having fun. I'm actually just starting to have fun. So, thanks. Cheers. All right.